setup that I've got. We've got the GoPro just on a little selfie stick tripod thing, the Nikon there with the Rode microphone on a little tripod. We've got the Adventure Kings, and next to it I've got a tripod with a phone mount, but the phone's in my hand. It's not on the tripod, but it's exactly the positions for all of the shots that we've been taking, is right there like that. So doing a bit of a comparison between GoPro, Nikon, and the Nikon is a D7500, which is more of a still camera, doesn't have any image stabilization or anything like that in it. We've got a Rode microphone on it, so hopefully it's working. We've got the King's action camera and my iPhone 15. So overcast day today, so see what it's like between the two of them. And I've just got it here in front of my vehicle that I'm doing up at the moment. I've just put Raptor coat on it, I'm just fixing it up. I just wanted to see what it was like for here, and also how dark it is in the back of the tool shed. So I'll move around and we'll do from the back of the tool shed pointing out into the light. We'll do some light stuff, and then I'll go in the wool shed, I think, and we'll have a look in there. So we'll see how we go for a comparison on lighting, sound, image quality, all that sort of stuff, I guess. I've never done this before, so anyway, see what happens. So now we're inside the shed, obviously, and quite dark here in this part of the shed with the bright light behind us from outside. So it'll be interesting to see which one picks up the dark with the light in the back. So the GoPro I've got set on cinematic with 100 ISO. The Nikon's on automatic. The King's one is whatever it's set on, I'm not sure if you can change it. And my phone is just set on regular video, but it's 60 frames per second. So interesting to see how it picks everything up. And we'll go and have a look at my messy shed now, I guess. I'll have a look inside the shed, then we'll go to the wool shed. Now we're inside my messy shed, which needs a big clean out. That never seemed to get time to do it. So we're inside the shed. We've got a lot of light coming in from outside, out there. It is overcast, so it'll be interesting to see what it's like on a really sunny day. So we might give it another crack on a really sunny day. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. Now what I'm going to do is I will put my wireless microphone into my phone and see how that goes with picking up. Hopefully it's working, but we'll go for a walk up the back up here and see the difference. Hope it works. We're right up the back up here now, which is good. I don't really like keeping the old hay in here where we're walking around all the time because of snakes. But anyway, it'll be interesting to see how I get picked up here in the corner in the dark, whether it picks me up or not. Anyway, wait and have a look and see. So I've got my wireless microphone plugged back into my phone again. I'm just standing behind the lenses and having a bit of a look at the difference. And looking through each one of these, there is quite a significant difference. And I think I'm already leaning to definitely one of the four as being all round the best. And it'd be interesting to see what my thoughts are once I get it onto my computer and edit it and see what it's like. But anyway, we are inside our wool shed. So this wool shed's over 120 years old, funnily enough. So we've got lights off at the moment. So I'll go and see, we've got light coming from the back, behind us, backlight. I will turn the lights on and we'll see what it's like. And we'll see how the difference in sound is, especially with this wireless microphone I've got plugged into my phone. I should be able to hear it quite easily through the phone, but not so much on the other one. So anyway, that's now we've got the light on. So these lights are LEDs and they're warm white. So it'll be interesting to see what it's like. Let's turn the chandelier on in the back. Have a look and see what that's like. Yeah, we've got that on now as well. Not sure if you can pick it up. I'll just have a quick look and see if these are pointed in that direction. Yeah, they're pointed in that direction. So what I might do now is I might just pick each one up individually and we'll have a bit of a pan around and see for image stabilization. That's very bright out there. Here's our pens in there for the old sheepies. So that's the full 360 with the GoPro. Next we will try the Nikon, which doesn't have any image stabilization. So I'll try and go very quietly. So this is on auto. So it's actually changing the aperture as I go around. I can see it going from 160, 125 to 1/250th. But looking through this, the image quality looks a million times better than the GoPro. So next one we will do old Mr. Adventure Kings. The back screen's turned off on this one, so I've got no idea what it's like. But this does have image stabilization, where the other ones, my Nikon doesn't. We'll pop that one back down there, and then we'll use the phone and see how we go with the phone. Now I'm picking this up on a tripod. I didn't zoom out on this either, but from what I can tell, just looking through the screen on this, the phone seems to actually be the best. Okay, so we'll have a look outside at direct sun. So now we're just looking out over our magnificent dam, which the water is extremely low at the moment. So we're looking directly in the sun, so to speak, even though it is overcast, but the sun is trying to poke its head out. So we've got them all set up exactly the same way, next to each other. We've got on the left hand side from behind is the GoPro, then next is the Nikon, then next is the Adventure Kings, and on the far right here we've got the iPhone. So it'll be interesting to see how they turn out on that. So we'll go and have a look out the other side, pointing away from the sun. Alright, so I've taken my wireless microphone off, got it in my skyrocket, the old Rode wireless mic. So now we've got the sun behind us. As I said, it is overcast, looking out into our nice, lovely farm. It's looking green at the moment, which is great. So we'll go for a walk, see how they handle walking, and then we'll go for a drive and see how the comparison with driving. Very, very interesting. I'd like to do it on a sunny day as well, so I might do it on a sunny day and see how it goes. So we have the Nikon, and I have the Adventure Kings, and we'll come over here and see our little camels, Kath and Kim. Say hi to the camelies and see how these go for image quality and stabilisation. Just by looking at this, the GoPro's definitely got the better image stabilisation for sure. I can see my phone is shaking around, whereas the GoPro isn't at all. So I'll go back down here and see Kath and Kim again. See how they're going, the girls, my camels. Well, our camels. So here we have our little test vehicle that the brakes come off, and she's actually trying to roll away on me. So put the brake back down again. So a little old golf cart wanted to run away on me, so I'll go for a quick drive down here. I'm just going to hold it. I do have a mount for it, but I'm going to hold it because I don't have a mount for my Nikon or phone. So to make it a fair comparison, I'll just go down here, a couple of little bumps here, so I'll do the same comparison with all of them, and then I'll swing it round this way for going back up again, see what it's like going back up. So the sun's coming in my face here at the moment, what little sun there is. Anyway, that's the GoPro. Move on to the Nikon. Okay, so now it's time for the Nikon, and it's starting to get windy, so it'll be interesting to see which one picks up the wind. And there's our girls. And a good thing with the old Nikon too as well is you can zoom in. So this is a 50mm lens I've got here. It's what a 55, 18 to 55. Keep going down. You can already tell it's a lot shakier than the GoPro, that's for sure. And then we'll turn it around, get a bit of a selfie going. And the good thing with the GoPro too is it's got the little screen in the front, so you can see if you're in the screen or not. Whereas this I can't see, so I've got no idea if my head's actually in frame or not. Wouldn't have a clue. Just got to guess, I hope for the best, I guess. Okay, so it's the Nikon. Next one is the Adventure Kings sports camera. Quality and stabilization, and then we're going to get the other two. So I do have these on a little tripod little thing. Hey girls! Here's the girls. Hey Kath, hey. Alright. Yeah, I can see this one's definitely bumpier. So I think just having the phone sitting on a tripod, definitely the go. Oh, I'm frightening the poor girls. Sorry, girls. And if you may be just walking around, it might be okay. It's not too bad. I think it shows up all the colours and everything a lot better. But one good thing with this too is because it's got such a big screen, you can really see everything. It's great. And then, of course, to do a selfie, all we do is just turn the camera around, which you can't actually do while it's recording. So I've got to stop it and then turn it around. So there it is, turned around the other way. And one thing that I've never actually noticed before is when you have it turned around the other way, there's no zoom. I only just tried to zoom it in and out then, but at least it's got a nice big screen and I can see myself quite easily. Need a bit of a shave. What an hooligan. Anyway, so that's it for the iPhone. So I might wait for a sunny day and do some more one day. So here we have a comparison of all 4 cameras together. Top left is the iPhone 15. Top right is the GoPro. Bottom left is the Adventure King action camera. And the bottom right is the Nikon D7500. For my money, the phone and the Nikon definitely look better just straight as they are. But taking into account that the GoPro, the ISO has not been set correctly for indoors. So if we just increased the ISO on that, you would probably get a better image. But the poor old Adventure King's action camera, the picture quality and the colour is pretty poor. Okay, so I've done a bit of a comparison between 4 different cameras. The one that we're on at the moment, which is the GoPro Hero 10, which, say no more, everybody knows about the old GoPros. They've been around for quite a long time. And then we were using my Nikon D7500, which I primarily bought as just a still camera. It's got the Rode microphone on it. The good thing about this is you can put it in auto and it works really, really well. It's great for taking still photos. Doesn't have any image stabilization though, unfortunately, and I'm really not happy with this Rode microphone. Like, I haven't had that many problems with it before, but in the tests that we were doing, like, the wind just picked up so much on this. It was ridiculous. Anyway, very happy with this camera, and I will definitely be using this quite a lot more, especially for just on tripods and, you know, non-moving type of things. But I think, yeah, we're all familiar with the GoPro, and I think as an action camera, the GoPro is really good. Night shots and low light shots aren't that good compared to the Nikon, and also compared to the old iPhone. I was quite impressed with the iPhone. When I was doing some driving in the old golf cart, it looked like the image was quite shaking around quite a lot, but when I actually played it back, it wasn't that bad. It's got really good quality cameras in it, and the image and everything was really good. Picks up just on automatic. I did have it 30 frames per second because this will only pick up for my PC. I can only do 4K 30 frames a second. If you want to do 4K at 60 frames a second, it only works on Mac. And also another thing with this is that I found that it is not actually recording in stereo, it's only recording in mono, even though it says that it's in stereo when I go into my settings. Also, as I mentioned, you can't change from the normal camera mode to the selfie mode, and obviously the camera in the selfie is a lot not as good as the cameras on the back of this one. This one's only got the 2 cameras. I didn't want to go for the 3. And also when you're in a reversed camera mode doing selfie, you can't change the focus on it. So anyway, I think that this is a general all-round, this probably wins. You know, you're not going out and buying a purpose camera. Everybody pretty well has a phone, so just use your phone until you get used to things. Then we have old mate Mr. King's action camera, and this, I've got to tell you, is an absolute piece of junk, and you would expect for $49.95 it is. So with the housing on it, you cannot hear, so you have to take it out of the housing. If you take it out of the housing, you've got no mounting points and the battery can come out, and it's not waterproof at all. Now, taking it out of the housing, you can actually notice that there's no weight in it. Like, there's nothing in this. So what we'll do is I'll actually swap. Next I'll go to the Nikon so we can have a look inside. It's a dull day today. It's actually raining, which is fantastic for us at the farm. We need rain. I've got warm white lights above me. I've got the natural light coming in front of me, and I've also got just a little LED work light over on the side there. So next one we will do the Nikon, and we'll see how that looks. So we've moved on to the Nikon now. It's on auto focus, auto aperture, everything. And actually if I come in and out, no, it's not doing it, but it was a minute ago, it changes the focus. So one thing that I didn't mention with the GoPro is that this gets hot very, very quickly. If you've got this standing out in the sun trying to film something, it will shut down after a couple of minutes. Even on an overcast day, after maybe 10 minutes it overheats and it shuts down. And what happens quite a lot of the time is you'll turn this back on again and you've got no image. So you've actually got to record without an image, leave it recording and bake it again, and then you turn it off and turn it back on again and your image will come up, which is pretty disappointing really, especially for us out here in Australia. Like, it's pretty hot. Another thing that's disappointing about this is that in cold weather, especially like down the snow, and I like to take it skiing, the batteries go flat very, very quickly. It's just a joke. You turn it on and the thing will say it's got 50% battery and it turns off within a couple of minutes. So for me, I'd head maybe towards DJI or try one of those, or the new Insta360s, either the 360 camera, or they have got some action cameras now that they've brought out. And you know, one of the good things with the Nikon is it's got so many different things that you can change in it, so many settings. You've got your aperture, you've got your ISO, you've got your speed, you've got heaps of stuff. So you can put it on manual or just on automatic. It works like an absolute gem. So that's the Nikon. So what we'll have a look at next is we'll have a look at the iPhone and we'll see how that looks. So here we're using the iPhone 15 Plus, which has just got the 2 cameras, not the 3 cameras like the Pro. One thing that I will say is that with this and with the Nikon, because it doesn't have a screen in the front, I can't actually see myself. So some of the other digital cameras, like for example the Sony and things like that, that have got the flip around screen so you can see where you're pointing the camera, because both the Nikon and the iPhone, I had it set in the wrong spot for filming me and it was chopping the top of my head off. So hopefully this one's working okay. So I've had to redo both of them, which if you're doing quite a long interview or spiel of some sort, can be a pain in the bum. But anyway, so disadvantage with this is that when you change between the 2 cameras, the front and rear camera, you have to turn it off, which isn't a biggie. You'd be using the front camera most of the time anyway. And also the rear camera, not as good quality, obviously, because it had not the 2 cameras, and it doesn't have zoom. But I think generally for me, like the phone, it works great. It works really. I was actually really impressed with the quality of the stuff that I've looked at when I was editing from what's come out on the phone, which is great. So next thing we're going to look at is this piece of rubbish, the Adventure Kings. I don't hold up much hope for this. I'm going to have to take it out of the case so that we can try and get some sort of audio out of it. So because it's out of the case, I'm going to have to sit it on something to raise it a little bit so that we can try and see. Now this also doesn't have a screen in the front of it. The only one that I've got that's got the screen in the front of it is the GoPro, which is an advantage, but anyway. All right. So here we've got the Adventure Kings action camera, which doesn't have a lot of settings in it. It's just got like videos like fine, super fine, and you know, it's pretty basic. I mean, really, what would you expect for $49.95? The reason I bought this particular camera is so that I can put it like on the side of the car when we're travelling, or in the suspension or something like that, so that if it falls off and gets smashed, I'm not breaking a camera that's hundreds of dollars, I'm breaking one that's $50. But in saying that, that's probably all it's good for. It really, the quality is pretty poor. But anyway, as I said, it's $49.95. So that about wraps it up. Unfortunately, we're wrapping it up with the old Adventure Kings, but I think, you know, as far as everyday use, the old iPhone seems to work like a treat. And then I'd probably, for doing still interviews or sitting in front of a camera like this, I'd probably use my Nikon. But it is heavy and it is cumbersome. One thing that I didn't say about the Nikon too is the drone microphone. Very, very disappointing. I haven't had that much problems with it before. The windsock that's on it, it picked up the wind like as if it wasn't even on it. It was very disappointing. So I do have some other Rode microphones with the different sock on it, just a smaller one for the GoPro. So I'll try that and see how that goes. Anyway, that pretty well wraps it up. So I hope gave a bit of a insight and a look at different cameras, and make up your own mind. But definitely, if you're just starting out doing this stuff like I am, don't go and rush out and buy cameras. Just start doing stuff, and start doing stuff on your phone probably, and then just you've got to work out what's right, because you can spend so much money on these things. Like a budget camera for vlogging is anywhere from $1,200 to $1,500, which is not budget. I mean, the budget's the old Kings for $49.95. So definitely have a play around and have a look at different stuff and work out exactly what you want before you go spending your good hard-earned cash. Anyway, that's it. Thank you.